I'ma praise you, oh Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth your marvelous works, and I will sing and rejoice in you. I'll sing praise to your name, O Most High. We will praise you. We will praise you. Sing it for me. Every day, in every way, we will praise you. Ooh, we will praise you. We will praise you. Yeah. Every day, in every way, we will praise you. Ooh. Zack Snyder basically did what's called an archetype of Jesus Christ. This is why it's very important to have the Snyder Cut of Justice League. You see, Man of Steel was about the birth and life of Jesus Christ. BVS was about the life and death of Jesus Christ. And Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was supposed to be about the resurrection and presence of Jesus Christ. All the things that happened to Superman in those comic book movies was really an allegory of what happened to Christ. And that's why Warner Brothers does not get a chance to dismiss the last story that Zack Snyder's doing in this trilogy. I will not allow them. They allowed themselves to throw in Wiccan and also the Wicca, with Joss Whedon being in there. I didn't like it. And honestly speaking, people, if a director is given a testimony of Jesus Christ in there and you want to attack him because of that, I'm sorry, man, but you ain't got my support. So that's why I support the Snyder Cut, and I don't want to hear any excuses. I know that Jason Momoa mentioned the Snyder Cut in the continuity of Aquaman. The ending story of Aquaman in the Snyder Cut is where James Wan picks up with Aquaman in his movie. I also understand that Zack Snyder actually posted up on Vero right after Jason Momoa said that the actual ending scene where you see Arthur Curry moving away from Vulko and Mira heading towards home. I get it. But yet at the same time, I've seen this before. I've seen Zack Snyder promote Justice League, show all the behind the scenes stuff. I've seen trailers where Zack Snyder stuff is in there. In fact, in Aquaman, at the end of the UK trailer, they actually take footage from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Footage that wasn't even showing up in the actual movie. So because Warner Brothers has done this before with Suicide Squad and with Justice League, I say, cry me a fool once, cry me a fool twice. You're not going to get me like that. As I said, take a bucket of piss and call it Granny's peach cheek. You pulled a fly on me, but I won't drink it. Just using a BVS quote. So no, I don't buy into it until Warner Brothers comes out and makes a direct statement concerning the Snyder Cut. Not interested in any DC film, including Aquaman, which looks fantastic, by the way. I've been following it. And what I like about Aquaman, which we did not see with Justice League, is that with Aquaman, we actually get clips of the movie. And the movie does not look like a comedy fest. It actually looks like a serious movie. These are serious moments. It reminded me of Wonder Woman. We actually got clips from Wonder Woman as well. I do believe we got a few clips from Suicide Squad. We got no clips, if I'm not mistaken, of Justice League. Or no. There were some clips. I just remembered. Yeah, there were some clips of Justice League. I remember where Barry Allen was introduced to Bruce Wayne and Arthur Curry meets Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. I remember those things. So anyway, be that as it may, I hesitant to support any other DC movie until Warner Brothers comes out openly and makes a positive statement on Justice League, acknowledging what the fans want, and basically making a statement that they're seeking to satisfy the fans with that regard. They don't have to mention any dates, like I said before. They don't have to mention anything like that. Just their intent. And that would mean quite a lot to all of us. Now, what is this storyboard here of a deleted scene from Justice League? What does it have to do with this scene here, where we see Zack Snyder? He is in the making of Justice League. We see him drawing out a storyboard. He obviously is on a set there. What do they have in common? Well, Zack Snyder posted up on Vero, and this is in Cinema Blend, and this is what he posted up, this picture. And this picture is really awesome. I'll tell you why. Now, he also puts BVS reference context, and I wanted to tell you what I think that means. But first, they revealed what Zack Snyder was doing. And if you look very carefully at this photo, you will see that Zack Snyder's inside the coffee shop Amy Adams, Lois Lane, is walking out of, per the picture he shared on Vero. Along with sharing this picture, Snyder also said it's a cameo of him drawing the scene in a fake coffee shop. So he's saying that he's actually drawing the scene in a fake coffee shop, which represents the real-life coffee shop where he drew the scene picture above, which is pretty clever. It's a brief moment that most eyes wouldn't even pick out, considering it wasn't even in the final cut of Justice League. No one had a chance to spot it on the big screen. Zack Snyder also shared on Vero that in the scene, Lois is on her way to Heroes Park to pay her daily respects to her love, Superman. And, of course, this scene shows Zack Snyder here, and you can see him right there. And what's very interesting to me is that he's in this posture, a similar posture like this, which means he's drawing a storyboard, like they said. And the storyboard is about a scene in the coffee shop. And that's a fictitious coffee shop, which is really a scene in this coffee shop, which means that Zack Snyder is literally drawing out this particular scene that we're looking at. Now, what's very interesting about that is, here's the scene that we're looking at. There's Lois Lane looking up at the sky, and from this storyboard here, where we realize Lois Lane purchases some cups of coffee, it looks like 2 cups of coffee, and then she goes out into the rain. She leaves the coffee shop and she goes out into the rain, passes by the Daily Planet truck that's throwing out a newspaper, and goes to a police officer, offers him a cup of coffee, and that is so she can go and pay her respects to Superman. Okay, and she's very sad. All right, now what's cool about that is you see Lois Lane, she's looking up in the sky. Obviously it's rain. Here's the 2 cups of coffee right there, and she's going to pull out her umbrella and walk that way, right? And what's so cool about this is that Zack Snyder hints that it's a BVS reference context. And what that tells me, if you do remember, in BVS, there was a coffee shop. Who was working in that coffee shop? Do you remember when she dropped the coffee mug and it broke up on the floor? That's right. Clark Kent's mother, Martha Kent, works in a coffee shop. So let's go back to this scene here. When you look, there's a woman. This is a woman handing her the coffee. And she receives the coffee from the woman and pays for it. This woman is probably Martha Kent, which means it's very possible this is what's going on. Lois Lane was talking to Martha Kent inside of the coffee shop, then purchases 2 cups of coffee from her, and then heads out towards Heroes Park. This is what I think. I may be wrong, but that's my deduction on it. Maybe I'm wrong. And I think that's what Zack Snyder is hinting towards. So I think this is really a cool way, a clever way to put a cameo in there. You know, Stan Lee was very obvious with his cameos, but Zack Snyder is very subtle with his cameos. You can actually go through a Zack Snyder film and find out so many Easter eggs and stuff that goes on in his films, because he's just very clever with it. So that is 100 million different reasons why a Snyder Cut of Justice League is absolutely necessary. And for those of you wondering why I'm whispering tonight, it's because it's late in the night and I don't want to wake up my mom, who is sleeping very soundly in the next room. The Snyder Cut, man. The Snyder Cut. That's what we're talking about. You guys have a great one.